spring been, man?
Spring's been great, man. Getting back into it, it's been fun to get back into football. So it's been really fun flying around with the guys.
And talking to Paul Haynes just now, he's mentioned that kind of your knowledge of the game has stood out. Just what time have you put in to kind of understand the game?
Me countless hours of film, making sure I'm in there every day, studying the concepts, studying tendencies from the offense, and just trying to make myself better every day. And also focusing on my technique. I'm my biggest critic, so every time I have a play, I'm always trying to figure out where I can get better. So, yeah, just
with this spring, we saw you yesterday with 3 interceptions. What have you seen the most improvement from your game? Luke talked about last week your consistency and how you've been extremely consistent. But what have you? How have you seen yourself grow even in these 12 practices?
Definitely consistency and just not allowing myself to get complacent. Honestly, always trying to get better, always trying to find that room for improvement. Like I said, being in the film room every day, watching film on myself, tendencies from the offense, just focusing on myself and really perfecting my craft and how to get better and getting extra work out to practice and talking to other guys on the team about what I can do better and just all of that. So yeah, I would say that.
Rico, last year it seemed like up and down, obviously starting. What do you think was the issue more so last year, and how has that grown into this year where you've really blossomed and starting?
Yes, sir. Like you said last year, it was my first time playing out there. So I think my issue at first was kind of getting comfortable, getting my feet under me, and then eventually getting to that point. Just having a challenge every week. Bigger receivers, and more physical and stuff like that. So I think what's allowing me to take this next step right now is just growing more comfortable, being more comfortable in my ability, being more comfortable in what I do on the field and recognition, and just really how to be a college player now that I have the feel for the game now.
And at the ball, right? Last year it seemed like a lot of catches on both sides were given up at the ball. Now, a lot of interceptions. Do you think that ball skills has kind of been a big thing that you've looked to improve on?
Yes, sir. As soon as off season, that was one of the bigger things I wanted to work on was ball skills. Just kind of get back to my high school ways. My high school tape, I caught a bunch of interceptions. So trying to get back to that and just being more physical at the point of attack and just really trying to go attack the ball before I give the receiver a chance to go get it.
What's being done with what you were asked of in the defenses the past couple of years that you were a part of? What's different what you're being asked of now within this revamped scheme that may allow you to have those tendencies to make the plays like you made up yesterday?
Yes, sir. I would say it's more of the same, but one thing I would say it was they allow our job to be a lot easier. I would say just kind of focusing on our man-to-man coverage with Coach Leonard, and as great as he was, the defense is a little complex and sometimes just a little bit to think about, and I think that's what Coach Tressel has done a great job of doing, just making it simpler for us, not involving much thinking and allowing us to just play fast out there.
And then, I guess too, I know the rough game last year was Michigan State. But what were some of the lessons? Or were you down? How hard on yourself were you during that time? But what did you learn, and how did you grow from those experiences?
One thing about me is that even though that was a very difficult experience for me, I never lost any type of confidence in myself. I know my abilities. I know how well I can play when I'm out there. So I think for me, I was just being hard on myself just because I'm my biggest critic, as I said before. So just wanting to be better and just wanting to get those opportunities again is something I was looking forward to. So just kind of honing in on myself and locking in on what I needed to do.
You talked about that physicality. How are you looking to balance that with not being overly physical to the point where you get flags?
Just knowing how much you can do, knowing how much you can give, knowing how much you can take, kind of knowing where your hands have to be. It's an offensive-minded game, so, refs always going to have the advantage to the offense and the wide receiver. So just being smart in how I use my hands and how I use my technique and just kind of how much I can get away with.
As a smaller corner, what's kind of your mindset going into games? Obviously, sometimes against more physical receivers. What's kind of the mindset, and how do you approach it on a game-by-game basis?
My mindset is that they're going at me every play. That's my mindset. I think the ball's coming at me every play, so I got to make a play every play. Is how I feel. So no matter who I'm going against, I know my technique has to be great just because I'm a smaller guy, and I can't have the mistakes that bigger guys make. So I really have to lock in on my technique and really be aggressive at the point of attack and just play ball and just be physical out there, have that dog mentality.
You mentioned do to draw an offensive penalty these days against a receiver for interference?
I don't even know, man. Just try to sell it. Honestly, that's I guess that's what you could do.
I apologize if you've been asked this before, but you started, I think it was the first 7 games last year, and then you were out for a little bit and then came back. Was that difficult to go from starter to not playing a lot and then have to get back in, and now you're getting another chance this spring?
Yes, sir. It was definitely difficult at the time. I'm not gonna lie. It was went through a self battle a little bit, and just my confidence was a little bit up and down. But you know, I knew I wouldn't let it affect me too long. I got in a little hole, but done myself right out of it. So, but it was fun, really getting back into the lineup and just being able to start in a bowl game and play ball and get back to where I was the first 7 games.
Do you think that experience can help you once you get on the field in the fall? Because corners talk all the time about they're going to get beat. They have to have a sharp memory. If you get beat on one play, you can't let it affect you. You know what it's like to struggle, and you know how you have to bounce back. Can that help you?
Oh yes, sir. It will definitely help me. You know, just being in that position is just being on the top and also being at the bottom. Like it happens, and you know, like they say, corners have to have a short-term memory. Gotta forget like the last play never happened. So I think that adopting that mindset really is going to help me a lot. Just going through it and just kind of not to get down on myself, just to play ball no matter how the game goes.
You mentioned being that low, kind of a little low in confidence. How'd you snap out of it?
Just realizing my talents, you know, my God-given abilities. I know how good of a football player I am. You know, obviously I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. So just adopting that mindset again, like, you know, you got this. Let's challenge, let's have fun, let's play ball, let's not think about anything. Let's just go out there and have fun.
Do you remember when that kind of the page turned for you?
I think it was more so like the ending of the season, and then also, you know, with Coach Fickle coming in and the bowl prep, and you know, just getting kind of a fresh start with a new head coach. So I think that really flipped the switch on me. Like, hey, this is your time. Let's dominate again. Let's show Coach what you got, and let's just play ball and show him the type of player you can be.
There's some guys on this team that do a lot of talking. Jason,